Good morning. It's Saturday, but I am obviously not in my office. I'm at the lake on vacation this weekend, but of course, every vacation still has a little bit of work involved, a little bit of hustle and grind if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a hustler, if you're someone who is the boss running your own business, right? But taking a vacation is super important. Something I'm not really good at. It's interesting I'm giving you this advice, but you need time to break your patterns, interrupt your daily flow, recharge those batteries, and most importantly, focus on your why it is that you work so hard, that you hustle and grind the way you do. Your family, the people that are important to you, the business that you're building, the success that you're trying to create for yourself. Why are you doing it? Vacation is an amazing time to refocus that why, recharge those batteries, and remotivate yourself to do great things as a hustler and grinder.
Good morning. Welcome to a very unique special edition of the Saturday Morning Hustle podcast, coming to you while I'm on vacation. That's right, not in the office this week, actually out on vacation. I'm at the beautiful Grand Lake in Northeast Oklahoma for a few days of rest and relaxation, especially coming off being sick recently. The vacation was definitely necessary, but I brought my gear, brought my laptop, I brought a microphone because I wanted to record a Saturday Morning Hustle podcast specific to vacation, to pattern interrupt, to recharging your batteries, and to the ideas necessary of taking a break, because this is typically foreign for those hustlers and grinders out there, all of you who are outworking the competition while they still sleep. Anyone who's listening to this podcast is probably thinking, you got to hustle and grind. And I agree with you 99% of the time. I'm not great at taking breaks myself, but there is extreme value and benefit of taking breaks, of taking time off, of stepping away, etc. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into these ideas today as I sit here and look out across a beautiful blue lake with green all around and taking my time away from the office, away from the hustle and grind to recharge my batteries. So I'm going to start right there with why take time off? Why do we need vacations? Well, number one, you are a human before you are a hustler, an entrepreneur, or someone trying to build something bigger than themselves. Human beings need rest. We all know that, right? But hustlers and grinders are not very good at celebrating the idea of rest. We utilize all of our energy to outwork the competition. This makes a lot of sense in the general idea of day to day. We all have the same 24 hours. It's all about how you use it. But your physical body and your mental makeup too. And there's a lot of conversation right now about mental health associated with the Olympics and some of the pressure of the athletes, etc. I don't want to get into that conversation today, but your mental health as a hustler and grinder, as someone who's trying to be successful, striving, pushing yourself to be the best at all times is important as well. Your physical health, your mental health, these things need to coincide with traditional breaks, with vacation, with time away from work to physically and mentally allow yourself to relieve that pressure. This is number one, the relief of stress and allowing of yourself relaxation and paying attention to yourself. Again, something that most hustlers and grinders aren't good at, but it is necessary and essential. And this is one of those episodes where I'm talking to myself as much, or probably even more so, than talking to you guys, because I'm not good at this either. I'm terrible at taking time off. I'm terrible at taking vacations, and I'm terrible at even taking breaks. But I do understand the value of it, so I want to have that conversation with you as I am on vacation. So as much as you might say, you don't take time off, I'm taking time off right now. And yes, I'm going to spend 10 or 15 minutes creating this podcast today, but the majority of the last 3 days have been a vacation. And again, I'm coming off being sick. You could probably still hear it in my voice a little bit too. So this is the most time I've taken off in at least the last 10 years, if not the last 20 years. But I'm starting to see the benefit of it. Have that conversation with you. So number one, stress reduction, the physical and mental nature of being a human being, being in a physical body of a human being, allowing yourself to reduce that stress and get the proper rest. Vacation is a great way to reset. Stepping away from your normal routine and reset, refocus on these things that can make you more productive in the hours you are awake, in the time that you're focusing on your hustle and grind, being as effective as possible inside those hours, along with how many hours a day you're willing to put in to achieve your goals, go hand in hand. So a giant reset can come from taking vacation. It can be physical, literal rest for your body, which goes hand in hand with with the nature of your mental health as well. Mental health. Relax your brain. Allow the muscle that is your brain to take a few days away from the constant pounding that you're giving it and rest. Allow your body to rest. Allow your natural rhythms to reset themselves and to mentally clear the clutter. Or a lot of people call it head trash, or lots of terms for just all the things that roll around in your head, all of the ideas. We can't get to all of those ideas. You can't execute on every idea you've ever had, but you can organize them, you can prioritize them, and eventually at some point you have to let the ideas that are never going to get executed on or are so low priority, what's the point of doing it? You have to let those things slide. Taking a vacation, taking a break from your normal routine will allow you to, for lack of a better term, empty that trash can, push those things out of your head, get that head trash out, and reset yourself. So it's a physical reset, it's an emotional reset, it's a stress or mental reset as well. Allow you to flush that head trash out of your way, and also the value of pattern interrupt. Now, pattern interrupt is a common concept for people who are marketing and sales, because pattern interrupt is how, when you're trying to communicate with people, you're trying to create relationships, maybe trying to negotiate a deal, etc. Sometimes everyone gets into the same routine of how they negotiate, how they approach deals, how they allow people to communicate with them, how they build processes, even relationships. They have a routine that feels comfortable to them, and sometimes that routine will lead you down the wrong path or prevent you from being open to opportunities. So if you're on the other side, if you're pitching, if you're selling, if you're trying to communicate to someone, there's an idea of pattern interrupt, where there are things that they expect in a certain order, getting out of those orders, or just coming up with something different or unique, catching them off guard, saying something they didn't expect, that resets the mentality of step A to step B to step C to a no. And instead takes them from A to F to G to Z to what we were talking about. Now I'm engaged in the conversation. That's a common idea of pattern interrupt in marketing and sales. Pattern interrupt, for those of you who work the hardest, who put the effort in on the regular, whose concept is the hustle and grind to outwork the competition with more hours than they're willing to put in. That rut that you can get yourself into, that routine that you can get yourself into, that process that you get too far into can limit you to the possibilities around you as well. So interrupt that pattern. Vacation allows that. We interrupt our pattern. We on a regular basis, we take time off. We spend time with family. Of course, we sleep, we eat, etc. But a super big 2, 3, 4, 7 day break definitely will reset those patterns and allow you to go back to a neutral starting place of being open to all possibilities. So pattern interrupt is essential as well. And then finally, as you think about why you need to take vacation, is because of the why of why you're working so hard. You got to know your why. What is your motivation? What are you trying to achieve? That achievement can't simply be to be rich or make a lot of money. There's no real motivation in that. It's a false motivation, and it's not something that's going to carry you through to ultimate sustainable success. Instead, your why should be something that you're building for yourself or your family, a way to support those people that are important to you, the way that you can build a business or craft a career that you want to get up and go to work every day, as opposed to people who dread going to work. The idea of if you enjoy what you do, you'll never actually work a day in your life, right? These are all the things that you're putting effort into, but the why is most important. Why do you do these things? Why are you willing to work so hard? Why are you willing to put the hours in to be your own boss or to achieve a certain level of success that you need? It can't be money. It needs to be the satisfaction of what you're doing. It needs to be the availability to your family, the ability to provide for others, etc. Whatever that motivation is, that why, when you take time away, when you go on vacation, when you take extended breaks, you are not thinking about the day-to-day activity, that pattern that we just talked about, pattern interrupt. You're not talking about the hustle and grind. You're not talking about the tactics and execution. You are thinking about your why. You have the space and the time to remember what's important and to focus on your why. Even more so if you're spending time with friends, with family, with people that are important to you, the things that are important to you in life, as opposed to working and concentrating on dollars and cents and economic flow through and ROI, etc. But the people, the reason, the why is super important, and vacation will allow you to focus on your why while at the same time, because you are multitasking here, whether you like it or not, you're giving that rest to your brain and to your body. You're lowering that stress and all the negative physical aspects that come with stress. You're flushing that mental head trash out as well. You're achieving all these things at the same time. And again, by focusing on your why while doing the other physical nature of rest and relaxation that comes with vacation, will allow you to reinvigorize, to recharge your batteries, to focus your motivation on that why, to remind yourself of why you're working so hard. So the ability to work as hard or harder coming back from a vacation is right there in front of you, because you know why you're doing it. You're focused in the right way. You've recharged your batteries. You've cleared the head trash out of your way. That allows you focus. The stress levels are lower so that you can concentrate better. You can achieve more in the hours of the day that you're working. You're already working more hours than anyone else, so you're going to achieve even more than they are. In fact, you're going to achieve so much more, be so much more effective, so much more efficient, so much more focused, and so much more motivated after a vacation, whether it's 2 days, 5 days, or 15 days, that you will more than make up for the time away from the office, from the project, from the side hustle, from the career, whatever it is that you're working on that is important to you because of your why. All of these things go together. And again, I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you about the value of vacation, the value of pattern interrupt, the value of stress reduction, the value of focus and attention on your why. That is what I want you to walk away with today on the Saturday Morning Hustle. So it's Saturday. I'm not in the office, but I am on a podcast here talking to you about taking some time off, refresh yourself, recharge those batteries, focus on your why, physically and mentally rest, come back stronger, hustle harder, be more effective, more efficient, more successful in your future. Good luck. See you next week.
Saturday Morning Hustle. Saturday Morning Hustle. Saturday Morning Hustle. Wake up and keep chasing your dreams.